Adrian approached the building with quiet purpose, his mind oddly calm. He had rehearsed this in his head 100 times since leaving the hospital. His body felt alive in a way it hadn't in years, every nerve humming with the precision of old training. When Brad answered the door, his smirk was instant, as though he'd already guessed who Adrian was. "Oh, let me guess," Brad said, leaning against the doorframe. "You're the husband. Nice to meet you, buddy. You're a lucky guy." The smirk didn't last long. Adrian stepped forward, slamming his palm into Brad's chest with enough force to knock him back into the apartment. Brad stumbled, gasping for air. Adrian was already moving, his muscles coiled and precise. A wild swing came at him, predictable, slow. Adrian sidestepped, grabbing Brad's wrist mid-swing and twisting it with a sharp motion. Brad screamed as Adrian's free hand struck the side of his head. "Men like you," Adrian said, his voice cold, "think you're untouchable, that you can take and destroy and walk away." Brad tried to respond, but Adrian silenced him with a sharp strike to the jaw, sending him crashing into the coffee table. Adrian's training took over, every movement fluid and controlled. As Brad scrambled to his feet, Adrian stepped in close, deflecting a jab with his right hand while delivering a succession of rapid, close-range palm strikes to Brad's face. Brad staggered, clutching his head, but Adrian didn't relent. Grabbing Brad's wrist again, Adrian twisted it behind his back, locking it into the same rigid line as he'd achieved with Tony's a decade before. Brad howled in pain as Adrian drove a powerful downward strike into Brad's elbow, the sickening crack of bone echoing in the small apartment. Brad collapsed to the floor, clutching his mangled arm. Adrian stood over him, breathing steady, his voice calm and deliberate. "You won't be hurting anyone else for a while now." Brad tried to crawl away, his movements clumsy and desperate. Adrian stepped forward, delivering a precise kick to Brad's knee. Another crack, another scream. Brad collapsed completely, his body useless beneath him. "You think you're tough?" Adrian said, his tone almost conversational. "Do you think beating up women makes you a big man? You're just pathetic." The final strike was a front kick to his mouth. "I sure hope you have dental cover," Adrian said as Brad pleaded for him to stop between bouts of spitting out blood and teeth. Then, without another word, Adrian turned and walked out, leaving Brad broken and crying on the floor. As Adrian drove home, he thought of Emily, lying in her hospital bed. He thought of the years he had spent trying to make their marriage work, the sacrifices he had made to give her the stability she claimed she wanted. And he thought of all the times she had tested him, pushed him, looking for something he could never be. The next day, he visited the